Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now today we're going to give you the August property news. What's been going on? There's a lot of stuff that's happened in the last month. Some of it's really good, some of it's really bad. And how does it affect property investors, homeowners and everyone else in the UK? So we're going to dive into that. But before we do, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We're on the way to 7,000 subscribers now, not views. And this month, our target here is to get 100,000 views. We smashed that on the first few days. So we're actually ahead of target now. And how you can help us to keep that going is by smashing the like button. So do your part, smash that like button. That will help us get more eyeballs on the content. So please do that right now. So, what's going on? Well, lots has been going on this month. Bank of England didn't have a meeting in July. June, they increased the interest rate. But July, nothing happened. But what did happen? Well, some lenders actually reduced rates. We saw HSBC was one of the first. That it wasn't a lot, but it was a tiny reduction in the interest rate. And that passed on to the market. It didn't make a huge difference. But what it did, it made their products more competitive. So on the comparison sites or with brokers, they're going to show up a little bit more. That will then mean other brokers and other lenders will get a bit more competitive as well. And what we're thinking, and a lot of economists are thinking, is banks feel that we're close to the peak on interest rates. Now, we're going to have another interest rate rise this week. And so that's going to happen. But this was fairly positive news. So no Bank of England meeting meant no interest rate, base rate rise. We had a marginal drop in interest rates with lenders. Now, inflation was the big news for July, and that dropped to 7.9%, which was decent. It was more than expected. It was expected to go to 8.2. That really was positive. And that's led people to think that the next interest rate rise that we're going to have this week will actually be 0.25% rather than 0.5%. It's showing that what the Bank of England's doing, or inflation, is coming down of its own accord. And that's good. And that's really their sole focus right now is inflation. They really don't care if the rates go up to 20% as long as we deal with inflation. That's their goal. And so that's going to be interesting what inflation data we'll get with August. The target by Rishi Sunak was 5% by the end of 2023. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully we get another big drop. House prices. So what happened with house prices? Well, we did a very popular video yesterday. I think by the time I've recorded this, it's going to be around 5,000 of you watched that video. And if you did watch that, thank you. If you liked that, thank you as well, because that helped us get more eyeballs. If you're still watching this, make sure you like this one, because that will help us get more eyeballs again. So house prices, they dropped, but not much. They went down by 0.2%. That was Nationwide's data. Haven't had the Halifax data at the time of recording this yet, but I'd imagine it's fairly similar to the Nationwide data. What it's showing is the market is a little bit more resilient than people are thinking. The progress on house drops is slower, is significantly slower. It's not going to be very quick, any drop in the market. So I spoke recently, about a week ago, I said initially I felt this calendar year, 2023, initially I thought the market would go down 8%. I've dropped that down to 6% now. So that's where I feel we're going to get to now, is a 6% drop in the market by the end of 2023. In fact, cautiously, I might look at revising that even lower because the market isn't moving much. So far this year, we've had a pretty stagnant market. So 0.2% is there. Now, this is really good news for landlords. And this was updated. Michael Gove and Rishi Sunak have been talking about that this week. EPCs. So EPC stands for Energy Performance Certificate. It was going to be a really difficult thing for landlords because we were going to have to bring our properties up to a level C. That's hard to achieve, particularly in older properties. The government initially said 2025 was the target. That's when we had to do this by, but it wasn't very clear. Then there was this woolly number of 2028, and again, it wasn't set in stone. And then on that, they said you would, if you couldn't get it to a level C, which honestly, some properties would be very, very tough, particularly an old terrace house would be very hard to get a level C. What they said was that you had to spend at least £10,000 to show that you did everything you could. So you had to have insulation, double glazing, whatever you could to get it as close to that level C as you possibly could. This is good news because now Rishi Sunak and Michael Gove have said, let's just not have this 2028 date. Landlords aren't ready for it. We're not ready for it. So let's just leave it for now and come back and revisit it. So right now, it's not being abolished, and we don't know, maybe Labour will get in and push this through quicker. But right now, there is no date, there is no obligation to get this done. This is good news for landlords in this current market where you're getting hit by Section 24, you're getting hit by higher interest rates. There's a lot of stress on landlords and lots of them are leaving the market. So this is potentially good if some landlords don't leave the market, because that will make rents more affordable. Those of you watching saying, oh, poor landlords, you want landlords because the problem and why your rent is increasing is because landlords have been leaving in droves. So this is a real big win for landlords. Now, this is the next one is a prediction on what's going to happen moving forward. Well, Rightmove have now said they're fairly optimistic, Rightmove, as a lot of you will say. And so Rightmove have said, look, asking prices are finally dropping now. We haven't had a real drop in asking prices. In fact, we had an increase in asking prices a few weeks back. Now, people are asking less on Rightmove. That's going to filter through to sold prices at some point. The deals that are on there now, if you're seeing a drop in asking prices today, it probably will be deals that complete in January, February, March now. Maybe some of them before Christmas, depending on how good solicitors are, chains, lending, and all these wonderful things. But it's an indication that people are willing to take slightly less. It's not a lot. It's like 0.5%, but it's a start. Also, what we're seeing as well is there are not lots of properties for sale at the moment. There's 86,000 properties for sale in the UK currently, which is down about 18%. So there is a lack of product, a lack of stock on the market, but there is a lack of buyers as well. And so it's kind of balancing itself out at the moment. What you will see, those of you that want to see price drops and stuff like that, when this 86 starts going up to 100,000 properties on the market, to 120, 150, that indicates to us that we're now starting to see distressed sellers come to the market. We're not seeing that yet, but it could happen. And it's very possible once these interest rate rises filter through, people come off of their deals, when we get unemployment, when we go into a recession, these things will impact the market. And so that's what we're saying is this drop in prices is going to be more prolonged than people might expect. So that's what's been going on this month. Hell of a lot going on. We've had a drop in inflation. That's good news. We've had a mild drop in house prices. That's good news. Haven't crashed yet. We're unlikely to see a crash. The EPC, that's the big win for you landlords out there. A very big win for you guys, that you don't have to worry about that now. And we can focus on that when the market's a little bit more stable, when we know, is the market going to recover? That's really, really positive news. Rightmove asking prices are down. And the last one is there's not lots of properties on the market today. That might change. That's something to keep an eye on. But right now, there's 86,000 properties for sale in the UK, which is down on normal times by around 18 to 20%. Anyway, what's your thoughts? What have I missed? What else happened in July? What else is planned to happen in August? I do miss stuff. I had a little think about this for a while. There's been a very busy month. Do let me know in the comments. Do smash the like button, guys. Let's hit this 100,000 views this month. You're in it with me because I don't watch myself. 100,000 times is a lot to ask. So please help me by smashing the like button, subscribe and hit the bell. Check out some other videos on my content on my channel as well. That will help to get the 100,000, especially this one right here.